Welcome back everyone, and today we're going to continue our discussion about our FI journey. And while a huge part of getting to financial independence is actually saving money each month and reducing costs, we also feel that balance is extremely important, and you need to balance out your savings with also spending some money on things that are important to you so you can enjoy your present life as well.
Today we're going to review 3 areas that we don't like to skimp or go cheap on. Now these 3 areas are going to change for everybody, but it's important that you make sure they align with your values as a couple. But for us, these were the 3 most important areas.
And be sure to stick around to the end of the video because our third area is actually broken into 3 separate topics, and it's actually one that can be easy to overlook. And while you're here, smash that like button below, give us some thumbs up. It really helps us newbies out on YouTube.
So the first way we don't skimp is travel. Travel's been really important to us, especially these last few years while living overseas. And that's really for 2 reasons. The first reason being, while we've been living in hardship locations, it's been nice to be able to reset and rejuvenate ourselves. And the second being that it's allowed us a chance to travel cheaply due to the location we're in.
For example, from Angola, it was only a 3-hour or a $350 flight from Luanda, where we lived, down to South Africa. Versus in Texas, it would have been about a 14-plus-hour flight from Texas to South Africa, probably about $1,500. So you can see the savings there. Also went to Dubai a couple times, and it was a 6-hour flight from Angola versus probably a 16-hour flight from Texas. And I'm sure the cost savings there was huge too. And not only was it cheaper, but we could spend less time there. So it was easy for us to go down real quick to South Africa for a 3-day weekend versus you wouldn't travel all the way from the US just to spend 3 days in South Africa, because the travel alone would be 2 days just to get there and back. So you probably wouldn't go to South Africa unless you had a solid week to spend there. As you can see from our map, we've made sure to take advantage of being based in Africa and South America to see as much as possible locally. One of the things we like to splurge on when we're traveling are drivers to pick us up from the airport, or airport pickups. Sometimes we'll ask the hotel to schedule a car to pick us up to take us to the hotel. And it really just saves us time having to figure out the travel system, whether we're going to get an Uber or a taxi. Trying to hail a taxi or get a bus at night in a strange city can be difficult, and especially if they speak a different language there. So that's kind of one of the things that we'll splurge on, is an airport pickup to just pick us straight up and take us straight to the hotel. It saves us time, energy, and a lot of stress too at the beginning of our trip. The second thing we aren't afraid to spend money on are experiences. This is probably one of the most important things to us. I think I once heard somebody say that memories get sweeter with time, meaning you can look back in a few days, a few years, even a few decades, and reminisce about a time that was special to you. And I've kind of already seen this played out in our life, especially for me when I'm looking through old vacation photos, and maybe I'll come across photos of our trip to China in 2013, and I'll just really start reminiscing about all the amazing, cool things we did on our first trip to Asia. And I instantly get happy just reminiscing about everything. And that $5,000 we spent on that trip has already paid me dividends in fond memories over the years.
And not every experience has to be so glamorous. Maybe it's just simply taking your kid out for a weekly ice cream treat. Yeah, you could maybe save a few bucks here and there by not doing this, but it's an experience that they'll remember and carry with them up until their adult lives. And maybe it's a tradition that they pass down to their children. This is an investment that will pay you dividends for the rest of your life.
All right, so far we've talked about travel, experiences, and the third one that's important to us is health. Health is obviously super important to every human, and it's especially important when you're trying to work towards your financial independence. And under health, we've got 3 sort of subcategories: food, sleep, and exercise.
So let's talk about sleep. Sleep is something that is very underrated by most people when it comes to their health. Getting a solid night's sleep is very important to us, especially when it means getting the most out of your day and performing your best. We've experienced sleeping on lower brand and also more name brand mattresses, and for us, sleeping on a name brand mattress has been worth the value.
Another gadget we've probably spent about $1,000 on is a chiliPAD. And it's basically a pad that fits right over your mattress, and it maintains your body temperature while you're sleeping. So if you've ever woken up hot throughout the night, or you wake up sweaty throughout the night, or you wake up super cold all of a sudden, this will really help you maintain your temperature throughout the night, which will help you sleep more soundly. So this $1,000 that we spent, we really feel like has already paid us dividends back as well. And some other things that you might spend money on to enhance your sleeping is maybe blackout curtains, so ones that are super thick so you don't get any light coming in. Maybe a sleeping machine to help have some white noise in the background while you're trying to fall asleep, or any kind of quality pillows for head support. So don't forget about your sleep when you think about your overall health. It's really important to how you perform each day. And the second subcategory under health would be food. So food is something that obviously everyone likes to eat, but we do spend a little extra money, like a lot of people, on organic fruits and vegetables. So I'm not sure, maybe a bushel of cilantro at the store would cost 99 cents and the organic cilantro would cost $2.69. That's a cost that we're willing to pay in order to get something that is organic, because we really feel that the quality of food that you put into your body is important. And another thing under the food category for us is we are pescatarians. So we are willing to spend a little bit more money on our, in quotes, meat. So you've probably heard of Beyond Meat. They make sausages and ground beef. They are probably about $7 a package for a pound of ground beef, versus actual cow meat is a lot cheaper than that, probably less than $2 a pound. And that is just something that we're willing to spend more money on because we don't eat red meat.
And something else we feel strongly about is that the higher quality food we put in our bodies, the higher quality output we'll get from our bodies.
And the third subcategory underneath health is exercise. And for us, exercise is obviously important as well as sleep and food. So we don't mind spending extra money on things like exercise equipment. In the past couple of years, we have bought a water rower and a Peloton treadmill for a couple $1,000s. Those have both been investments in our exercise routine that we use daily and have been super important to us to maintain our health. And they've been especially important to us the past 6 years living overseas, because we haven't always had access to a traditional gym like we did back in Texas. And we've enjoyed working out at home. It's just been super easy to roll out of bed and get straight on our equipment, or come home from work and start working out immediately. So it's really cut out any kind of a commute, and it's made it stress-free exercising for us.
And also another example under exercise is that we both enjoy jogging a lot. About every 6 months or so, our shoes typically wear out from wear and tear, and this means that we need to get replacements. And we're not afraid to spend a little bit extra to get high quality shoes to ensure that we help protect our joints and avoid any types of injuries that you typically can get by wearing shoes too long.
So we might be spending $4,000 on new gym equipment and shoes, but in the long run, if we can avoid a hospital bill, maybe when we're in our 60s, because we've been keeping up with cardio all these years, that $4,000 will more than pay for itself. So we feel like exercising daily is important to your overall health, and any investment we can make today will pay dividends in the future. And a huge part of financial freedom is thinking about how you're going to pay for health insurance in the future when you don't have a traditional employer. And if your health is better, this may make you feel more secure in making that decision when the time comes. If you have diabetes, if you're overweight, or maybe you have high blood pressure, you might not feel comfortable making the decision to not have employer-sponsored health insurance. Truly, with the high cost of medical procedures, it only makes sense that you make remaining healthy a top priority if you want to be financially free one day. All right, guys, well, those are our 3 important things that we don't skimp on: travel, experiences, and our health. So if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up below, like it. It really helps us out on YouTube.
So be sure to subscribe below by clicking the red button, because we'll be dropping a new money video next Friday.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next Friday. Bye.
Bye.